I woke up this morning and looked out the front window in the bedroom, and you were sitting in the street.
Oh, for no good reason.
That is how my morning went.
Hey, it's Brian Quain of Reason to Believe. I was recently diagnosed as neurodivergent, and I've been on a journey to understand what this means for me. In the process, I realized there's an opportunity to connect with others who share the same desire to learn more about being on the spectrum. So sit back and enjoy stories from my friends, my guests, myself, and the incredible journeys shared on these episodes. You'll hear about obstacles faced, victories achieved, struggles overcome, but most importantly, our passion for belonging and connection. We are wired differently, but thriving always. Reason to Believe is the reason we are proudly autistic. Now, welcome to the show. Hello, everybody. This is going to be one of those smaller little episodes that we were talking about in the intro, right? This is one of our chances that we get to basically have Casie and I talk about our problems with everybody. No, I'm not a problem. Get it?
Problems
See?
with the rest of the world.
There you go. So this is where we get political. Why I oughta. We live in Florida. Why we oughta. No, this is going to be something where I kind of bring up, hey, did you notice something today? Or, hey, remember this week when I But to be honest, I think it's just getting to hear a conversation, but also a better understanding how someone who's neurotypical, say I, and then someone who's neurodivergent, that is me. So, yeah. So, honestly, this is going to be one of those moments where we get to discuss, like, what it looks like. And not only, there's a few things that how we align and how we're going to have people appreciate this is that very much someone who is neurotypical gets to hear what it's like and hear stories of somebody very much like myself, because today's episode is going to be about routines. Yep. Okay. Wow. And I am recording this also on video, so you get to see Casie's face. I mean, we're not using this entire, because I'm actually recording it in not in landscape, right? I'm filming this in portrait. That way it can go. This is going to be for social media reasons. So yeah, her face was like, wait, what are we talking about? She has no idea. And then also another reason why I'm doing this is that you kind of get to hear what it's like, where people are like, wow, I mean, I didn't know if it was a big deal or not, and it is, because it's my brain, but at the same time, it's Casie having her brain deal with my brain and what's going on. So today's segment is going to be called Routine, because my Sunday got really kind of jacked up. No, it did. It really did. And I wake up like every morning. It was 6:30. I made coffee. I did my routine. Fed the dogs at 7:30. Took them out a little bit before that.
Everything has a very specific time to it. Mm-hmm. And if it's like 5 minutes off, that's chaos. It's just, I feel like that's what ensues.
Saturday and Sundays, I don't want anything to mess with how things are going to go. I wait for Casie to get up around 8:30, 9-ish, maybe 9:30, somewhere around there. And then I have my coffee, like kind of waiting, just hanging out. I'm doing my thing. I'm either listening to an audiobook, playing my game, kind of looking up stuff that I need to do with this. So I'm taking Rigby for his walk this morning. You know, if you followed us on Instagram since the beginning, you do know I do the dailies with Rigby. I take him for his walk every day. And I was doing, my daily walk with Rigby just to kind of have content get out there. And so on the walk, we started. I am listening to Los Angeles. I'm listening to, that's a soul coughing joke. I'm keeping that going. I was listening to, was it Orville Peck? I don't remember what I was listening to this morning. But I was actually listening to my Rude Boy mix. It's my ska, every wave of ska. And I was listening to that, and everything was good. I had a little pep in my step, started with English Beat. I had David Wakeling with me. Coming home, there was a branch that fell from a tree, and I was like, man, and it was really windy and beautiful out. Rigby doesn't notice, and he kind of looks over, and he sees that there's a tail on the lawn of our lawn, and I threw the branch like where our neighbor is, and that tail, the bushy tail, came from a squirrel that was on the floor. It was on the ground. It was on the ground, and in between the grass and the street. I take Rigby in, and I go back out, and the squirrel's completely alive, looking good. Not at all. I mean, he's looking good. Like, I'm not like he's GQ or like, he's dead. He's actually looking good. Like, okay, no blood, no nothing. Didn't get run over. Definitely wasn't there when I left. And I guess he fell out of the tree, slammed onto the ground, and I am there now to put him in a shoebox. And my routine is like this. That was me snapping so people can get it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, my routine was shook. That was it. Like, I knew, oh man, what did I have planned for today? More coffee. Make sure you're good. What are we doing today? Is there anything we need to pick up? What errands are we running? Like, all of that is about to come to an end. And that is something I'm not really okay with. Like, I like my routine. I like to know this is how my day is going to be. Long story short, I was able to take the squirrel to a rehabilitation center where this woman is going to take care of him, and I'm going to have information about her. Mary Jane, thank you so much for taking this little baby in, and I'm going to call back in 48 hours to see how the little guy is doing. But she was so good with him, and it actually took no time at all. I was probably back home by 10:15. So, yeah. But me, the whole time I'm going there, I'm like, what am I doing in the car right now? Why am I in the car on a Sunday? Why am I not with Casie? Why are we not planning our day? Why are we not doing this? I knew we had to, like, even the fact that, are we even going to record today? Here we are.
So all of that is complete news to me.
Yes.
And that's so funny. Not funny, but it's just, I guess maybe eye-opening. I don't know. To me, it wasn't anything. To me, I just looked at it like, oh, this is fantastic. We actually found someone that would take the squirrel, because that's so hard. I mean, we do a lot of like rescuing anyways, and it is hard sometimes depending on what you've found or what needs that the animal might have. So on a Sunday, man, I was just really excited that you found that, and you weren't gone any time at all.
Right.
I mean, I didn't. Yeah. I don't think so, because I had enough time to just like make an English muffin, have some orange juice,
put in an order for Starbucks, which you haven't done in months, which is crazy. So that was actually nice that I was able to get this whatever like new iced whatever you're getting, because honestly I love
a chai tea latte.
I love Memoirs at home, and I love Stumptown still at home kind of thing. I still love my coffee at home, but the fact that I got to see somebody I haven't seen in months who was so excited to see me, and even like knowing that Starbucks was waiting for Rigby to pop his head out of the window and be like, hey Rigby, so a lot of great came out of it. Yeah. It was actually a stunning, star-filled, awesome gold star. Put it up on the refrigerator. You passed with an A++. It was a good morning. Really good morning. I loved it. I am not going to lie. But I'm off. I'm extremely off.
100% off.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And you asked that in the car on the way here.
Yes. And it's something that sometimes I don't know how to actually ask, or I don't want to ask something and then you be kind of frustrated in your head, or with whatever's going on in your head. And I don't want it to cause any type of meltdown. So I noticed it all morning.
Yeah.
And honestly, I really had no idea where it was coming from, but I also don't. I think we just view things so differently. I thought it was a really good morning.
I do too. I mean, there's news of a friend of mine that's been in the game that I play for 2 years. I didn't know how bad his Parkinson's was until really like last night, this morning. And I am worried about John. I really am. He's a good dude.
And I had family stuff last night.
Yeah. That shook everything up. With a family member
that has dementia.
Routine.
So
last night shook me.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have to go to sleep in another room kind of thing, because
we didn't know what was going to happen with just full-on chaos
so that's,
interrupting.
you mentioned dementia. You mentioned it, right? So let's kind of get into that because I'm full disclosure. I'm open. I'm an open book. So,
yes, and I'm not always. So that's another difference. But I don't think that.
I want you to say kind of how you felt with whatever you're willing to give to the masses right now, because you mentioned family dementia.
Right.
So, what were you going through last night? How much you want to tell?
So, just very overwhelmed. I was extremely overwhelmed last night, and I don't even remember what I was doing. But I was in the kitchen or something, and I was somewhere, and you're like, the phone, your mom has called twice.
Yes,
so
you're right. Yes, you're right.
I wasn't in the room. You came walking out. You had my phone in your hand. So everything just happened so fast, and those are the worst calls to get, like, at night, right? Because nothing good happens. You're not getting a phone call for someone just to talk to you about fantastic things in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And although it wasn't super late, it was still late.
It was 10:30.
It was late for my family.
It was late for me.
It's late for us. We go to bed at 7:30 when Rigby gets back from his walk. I'm like, all right, let's get the bed going.
Yeah.
We're gonna sit here and watch like baking shows and then go to sleep early. But everything was interrupted, and it was very overwhelming. And I have 3 family members right now going through pretty catastrophic.
Major. All 3.
Health.
All 3. Not even like you could sit there and say, if we could right now have a dry erase board and we could put those 3 people on a board right now and say, who's got it worse?
I
don't even understand where. I don't understand how that. It would be like maybe, let's go back to the baking show. It'd probably be like, Paul and Prue of the Great British Baking Show, where they have to pick like who's going home today, like when you have 2 that are so, and because we just went through that, so I think that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I still can't believe that dude won. God, Chigs, I love you. Spoiler alert. So it was something also really quick when you said that. Damn it, what was it where I went, oh yeah, that's me too. It's not going to come to me. But it was so, like, you did say something that was so, like, triggering my head, like, I want to bring that up. And it will come to me because we do know that does happen where my brain goes, whoa, wait.
Oh, yeah.
It's so this is what I call, and I'm, sorry to my new friend, Mr. Squirrel, that fell out of a tree today, but this is what I call my squirrel mode, right? This is where I could be in a complete amazing conversation with Casie, and totally I'm saying, like, we just maybe ordered dinner somewhere and somebody just walks by with, I'm like, you know what, I don't think I want a glass of wine. She's telling me a story, and somebody walks by with a Pinot Noir that's so, like, that looks good. My squirrel mode just goes, huh? And I stare at that glass of wine for at least 10 to 15 seconds.
Minutes. 10 to 15 minutes. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No. But yeah, it's one of those, and I know people tend to say, oh, but doesn't everybody do that? Stop. No, I mean, yes, but I want to say these squirrel moments are really much kind of all day, every day. I have squirrel moments. Again, I think in the first episode that we mentioned in the intro, when we go out to eat, you cannot have a TV anywhere in my eye line if we are eating. So if we go, like, there's a place called The Porch that has a great vegan burger, or not vegan, but a vegetarian burger, right? They have a good black bean burger.
They have vegan.
And they have, sure, we can make it vegan, but you know what I mean. They have a great burger, and you want to do Impossible, or you want to do their black bean. And this is one of those places you're going to watch NFL Sundays at. This is a place that you're going to watch the World Cup at, Euro Cup. This is a place that you're going to watch March Madness right now, right? So there's TVs at every eye line. It is the worst for me to go there because I am now concentrating. Oh, the last time we went? Yes, I did. Yeah, 100%
absolutely,
I did.
Because there was nothing going on. But honestly, we never really go there unless we're going to watch football.
No, that's true. Yeah.
And then all those TVs are fantastic.
So what football are we watching this year? Because I don't have a team anymore.
You didn't have one to begin with.
Oh, God. Eli Manning, you need to come back.
Wah, wah.
You need to come back, man. Russell Wilson? No. I had a good season with the Falcons. I did.
Yeah.
That was good. Mm-hmm. I got to see them beat the Giants. That was good.
Yes,
Because those
that
Giants.
was good.
I wanted a better draft pick. That's
I know.
all. That's all I'm asking for. And if Brian DeBull is still okay, so that's the thing though. If anything's in my eye line, yes, it's going to distract me, and it's probably a root canal for the person sitting with me, because
Sometimes.
it is.
Yeah.
It is, but I can't help it.
It is a feeling of
Neglect.
that. Yes, actually, it is.
I hear it.
Because, it's that. Okay, am I not interesting? Is there something else going on? Is there a problem? Yeah. I think initially that was something that I really had issues with when we first started seeing each other, because you can do 20 things and be on your phone, and I'm just utterly confused by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It's something that's really hard. Because in my brain, if I'm doing something, if I'm on the phone, if I'm not looking at you, if I'm not making eye contact, if I'm, if it seems like I'm distracted, I feel like that then is going to convey me being uninterested in you.
I get it.
Yeah. And so here's the thing, though. And I think Jolie helped us a lot with this. And
remember, Jolie is our therapist, our neurodivergent therapist. So
maybe
you're going to hear her name. Yeah, you're going to hear her name. No, I think it's okay to say her name, because I want to put her on that. I don't want her just to be our neurodivergent therapist, right? She's more than that because of how much she's put me in this seat right now and being able to do this. So,
but I think that she's, definitely helped. And then also, I'm a researcher. I am, and that medical things, whatever it might be, I will just look things up nonstop. But I think that it really helped with you maybe needing to do something else. That's. I don't know really how to phrase it, but you having something is almost similar to like a fidget spinner.
I was
right?
just going to say my buddy Amber at work. My buddy Amber at Apple.
Yeah.
She had one, and I was always like, this is a joke. It was when the fad started, right? This is when that fad was like, everybody has a fidget spinner. And we were working at Apple, of course. At the time, you could just fidget spin all day long if you wanted to on the floor or whatever. It's not a big deal. And so she's like, Brian, you should test it. I was like, no, I'm okay. So I did, though, obviously. Long story short. Man, did that really help me. I didn't know at the time. Remember, everybody, any story I tell you, it's been months since I've been diagnosed. Months. And that's it.
Extremely short amount of time.
I'm maybe talking like 7 years ago that I saw this.
5 months or so.
Yeah. So I'll tell you my 1 year anniversary when it comes up, and we'll celebrate that. So the time span of when I'm telling you these stories of like, oh my God, when I was on tour without the drive-in and I needed a drive because of this, or Omar was da-da-da-da-da. Like, there's things that I needed to do when I was on tour. There's things that I need to do when I'm producing or directing a film. Like, there's things that I need to have. I need to have a rock in my hand that I'm like constantly like squeezing when I'm directing, and like things like that. There's something that has to be in my hand that I have to squeeze. I need to basically fidget. That's it. End of the day, a fidget spinner is completely the best name term. That is what it is. It is a fidget spinner. I'm fidgeting. It is what we do. Thank you. Okay. That's all.
Or you play the drums. You play the drums on whatever is in front of you nonstop.
What's my favorite song to drum to?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Because here's the thing. Every song that comes on is your favorite. Every song that comes on that you play is on some list. I don't know where you're pulling these lists out of. So this would be on my top 100 list for blah, blah, blah. This would be on my top 10 list for, and I think you're just making shit up.
So
I'm so
Matt
sorry.
Uva.
But
Matt
just
Uva.
Constantly.
Matt Uva, who's going to be on this show. There you go. Casie is right now the intro. That is going to be the intro for your, I think he called the show he wanted to see as, I'm Brian Quain. You don't know who the hell I am, but this is my favorite, whatever it is.
Yeah, because there's a list for everything.
Okay.
So we
Come
can be
up with a
watching
random
TV.
thing.
No,
Yes.
listen.
Yes.
We can be watching TV and it can be the most random of things. And we both have worked in production. You worked at the Florida Film Festival, correct, for what, 20, 25 years? Something
20
like
years,
that?
20 years.
And I've been doing makeup and hair for movies, TV, different things for well over 20 years. So I very much understand the industry and different things, but you are honed in on like this scene from this movie had this type of whatever it is. It was shot on this type of camera. It has this person who was, you could be like, this is the second AD on it. Like, who knows that?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Who knows that?
They don't get any love.
No one knows it, but
They're pulling
50 of them, and you've got a list for them. And I'm just trying to watch a movie. It's so distracting sometimes.
All right, I want to come up with a best of. So say a random word. I want to see if I could connect that word with something of a song or like in a movie. Just a random word, whatever it is. Let's see how quick I can come up with a song or a movie.
Catnip.
Catnip. God, there is a song. Well, that's Catbutt. REM actually had a band called Catbutt for a while. So, no, it's true. When REM was doing, I think, what was the name of that? Out of Time. When they were doing that album, or Green, they had a band called Catbutt, where they would go into the studio in Athens, Georgia. And those two are not my favorite albums by REM at all. Catnip. I don't have anything with catnip in a movie.
That's surprising.
Yeah,
so,
no kidding.
Normally,
no kidding.
It can be anything. We can be driving down the road and you see something out the window. It can be something that you hear on the radio. It can also just be, I have no idea, actually, like where you'll get things from. And I'll wonder, were we talking about something that triggered that? Like, where did it actually come from? I don't know.
Welcome.
I don't actually know how we got on this topic.
Routines.
Oh, God. That's not... Yeah, again, I don't know how we got on this topic.
Okay, so we're going to round third here because it is 20 minutes. We want to make these short. What are some things that you may do to help me notice that a routine can be disrupted? Because I know you never tried, or not that you never tried. I'm sure you have, or no? Or I was going to say something that you may, or is there something that you might think could help that other people can do when their loved one that's spicy as hell, like myself, that we could help them when the routine is broken? Because again, and I'm still off. I still feel a little off.
And it's very, it's very apparent.
Okay.
But I don't actually know. I mean, so maybe that's something I need help with. This is new to both of us.
I thought this would be a good one to bring up today because it's going on right now. That squirrel was like it fell from heaven to kind of be like, oh. And no, it kind of opened up a door where I was like, this is actually a good place that we could actually have another episode of routines. Routine is a big one. Trust me,
it is.
You don't want to disrupt that.
When we first started dating, you went to work at a specific time. You had a banana at a specific time, and then let's say, 45 minutes later at another specific time, every single day, then you'd have a pickle. So
Pickle 30. I forgot about Pickle 30.
I mean, the routine was just, it's in your face. It's in everyone's face. And so it's really funny to me when you say, I don't know how you would have thought I was on the spectrum or why you would have said that. These things, all of these things.
Pickle 30, Deb and Sean and I and then Rafi and yeah, Stephen just we'd all like, okay.
Routine is always there, and I do think you've actually gotten much better because
I think it was in my face. I did.
Necessarily a routine person. Places we go to eat.
Sure,
or
but that's not routine.
Certain things. That's
just because
comfort zone.
Yes. Because somebody with anxiety needs that as well.
Yes, and I have anxiety, and even though I consider myself to be more neurotypical, I do have ADHD as well. But
you're a pinch hitter for the team. Hey, baseball season started. Screw you, Mets.
I don't.
They're playing the Astros this weekend, and we're doo-doo.
So I'm not really sure. I think just being aware of it. So I know when there is something with, routine and it gets broken. I think I'm just more conscious of knowing that you're going to maybe you're just going to visibly be off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't take it personally, and I think that actually does help, because if you take something personally, then it's going to set you off, and it's just going to be this back and forth.
And that sucks.
And really, there's absolutely nothing that either of us did in that situation wrong at all, right? It's just looking at the situation from different brains, you know. But I think just me being aware of it, or someone who's neurotypical being aware of it and knowing that, hey, you just need a little time, I guess, to go through whatever range of emotion you're going through, because, again, this is still pretty new to me, so
I get it.
I don't want to act like I know what I'm talking about when, you know, I can only speak to us.
Right. So I'm going to take this 2 minutes, everybody. And, babe, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Casie's amazing for being patient. So the next minute or two I want to take and say, if you are aligning with any of this and you realize, oh, wow, those are things that I do because, you know, my routine is getting disrupted, and maybe this is why you're off. I don't have good news. Here's what you could do. But here's some tools that I could help you with. There's 3 things that I will do when my routine is disrupted. Is I will make sure that there are 3 things within the day that I know that make me extremely happy, that'll allow me to then realize, okay, it's still disrupted, but at the same time, I'm going to focus on things that I like. This could be me enjoying 1 extra mug of coffee. This could be enjoying food. I'm gross, people. I like my food in my... Okay. I like to eat. But then it's also... And I like to eat gross. High blood pressure like crazy. I have an amazing house. I have an amazing love of my life. I have amazing dogs. I have amazing cats. And the squirrel that fell from the grace of God into our laps, I really hope that little bad Larry is... that's going to be his name. The little bad Larry. I hope he makes it, and I hope he recovers soon. So we will let you know how that goes. Any last thought, babe?
No.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. This has been another episode to kind of get you to our next episode of our interviews. That will be, I don't know yet, because we're recording this before we even launch. So thank you so much. All right, y'all. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.